Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to Allison's Daily Reacts, where I serve you all the crazy things that are going on around us. If you like videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to see more of my videos. Okay, I'm gonna get right to it because I have some very interesting videos that I know y'all will enjoy. Let's get right to it.
Simpsons predicted that May 30th, 2025 is the day everything comes to a stop. A simple coincidence or a warning we shouldn't ignore. In a long-forgotten episode from 1998, titled The Last Day of Springfield, a massive blackout throws the entire city into darkness. No lights, no cars, the city is completely frozen. Even Homer's nuclear power plant shuts down. Just before everything cuts out, a digital calendar flashes one last time. May 30th. Professor Frank runs around screaming and flailing his arms. It's the end, while Kent Brockman stares straight into the camera with a chilling smile. Back to the Stone Age, but it doesn't stop there. The 2013 episode, Mr. Burns drops an eerie line. The end of energy has already been scheduled. Too many coincidences. Hold on. In a 2007 episode, Lisa holds a book titled The Last Day of Civilization. And on the cover, the date, May 30th, 2025. A global blackout, a full collapse of the internet, or maybe something even worse. Follow for more.
Did you know these are the people who knew too much and were silenced? Michael Jackson, 25th of June, 2009. It's said that Michael uncovered secrets about a dark network involving high-ranking politicians and minors. The official version states he died from an overdose while trying to sleep that night. But how credible is that explanation? Barnaby Jack, 25th of July, 2013. This famous hacker shocked the world when, during a conference, he demonstrated how some could manipulate pacemakers to cause clean, undetectable deaths. Just days later, Barnaby was found dead in his apartment. A simple coincidence, or was he silenced for what he knew? Daphne Caruana Galizia, 16th of October, 2017. This investigative journalist exposed secrets about the elites and the controversial Panama Papers. Her research placed her in direct conflict with powerful figures. Shortly afterwards, a bomb in her car ended her life. Is it really just a coincidence that all these people met such fates, or did they uncover something they were never meant to know? But what do you think, Comet Silence? If you want me to keep exposing the hidden truth...
I heard recently there's a lot of speculation there's going to be a really big tsunami. Because
oh yeah, see, there's some shit happening.
Yeah, because there's a prophet and she predicted so many things that happen.
Yeah.
Well, I'll show you. Her name is Ryo Tsuki.
Yeah.
So one of the things she predicted, and this is way back.
Yeah.
She made all of these different prophecies and they all came true. One of them being one day there's gonna be a virus and there's gonna be a pandemic.
Yeah.
And everybody's gonna go into quarantine. That fucking happened.
Yeah.
She said it's gonna disappear and come back though in 2030. So that's one of the prophecies she made.
Okay,
one of the predictions.
Yeah.
But another one is she predicts in July of 2025. So this July coming up.
Yeah.
Cause I wanted to go to the Philippines, Sam. I wanted to go to Japan this year.
That's in 3 months.
In July, yeah.
Yeah.
But this prediction is for July 2025. A huge tsunami is gonna hit Asia, specifically around Japan and Philippines area.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But the things that she predicted, like the pandemic, and there's a few other things. Yo, if she's right, even just knowing this information, I might as well just stay away. Because there's already signs of things happening with that earthquake.
The foot.
Yeah, if
All
there's
the giants
already
are-
a little bit of signs, bro, like maybe
yeah.
just chill off for a bit.
Yeah, real shit.
What if I told you the ocean was the real outer space? A couple years ago, an independent researcher named Tyler Schmerkenhieser designed and engineered a one-of-one submarine with an adaptive hyperalloy composite hull. To prove it, guy was obsessed, believed the concept of the ocean floor itself was a lie. Stuck a camera on the front of the submarine and set off into the unexplored depths of the Mariana Trench. And Buddy, the species he'd captured on these videos, were things that have yet to be explained to this day. But instead of finding the seafloor, he discovered what he described as an abyssal vortex, a swirling black whirlpool that no previous expedition had ever encountered. Said that by the time he'd gotten through it, he rose up to lands that he'd never seen before in his life. Saw these strange human like being standing up on the shore. It was like this upside-down world, accessible through vortex canals in the depths of the water.
Alright, so check this out. They put all of the hidden information in these kids' movies. They're telling us you guys just have to look. So we all know the rat story in the Ice Age movies. He's always going for the nuts, right? He finds Scat Atlantis or a Rat Atlantis or something like that, right?
The greed of an outsider leads to destruction of Atlantis. Look at the acorns as if it were ancient forbidden knowledge.
They put the truth is always in the details, hidden within.
Acorn here could be forbidden ancient knowledge.
Be more than a rodent, be more than a human, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
He looks anyway and sees the truth.
The greed and power.
This acorn is floating over the waters, above the waters, and guess where it fell to?
Money hungry, lust for power. Keep watching.
The waters fell to earth, losing their heavenly connections from the heavens. What if Atlantis was a place located in the waters above the firmament?
I can see why the government was pushing to get rid of TikTok. There are things that you will see on TikTok that you will find nowhere else. Now I say that to say, in the last 7 days, the moon has been missing. Now I know we've seen a couple of videos and they said we were going to have dual moons. Where they at? I also know that in the past when I was young, I might have seen the moon missing for like maybe about 3 or 4 days. But 7 days? Now, I'll be honest, last night was a very clear night. I saw no moon. So I need to ask this, what's going on right now? What don't we know? Where is the moon? Like, honestly, ask yourself. Now, a lot of y'all might not have been paying attention to it, but it's on my radar now. Looking at more videos, and I'm seeing that more people are saying that they don't see the moon. What I need to know is, why isn't the news talking about this? This is something big. Now, when you Google this, they're telling you that the moon might be in another region. It might be on another side of Earth. But check this out. In this day and time, you can't just tell us anything. You can't. Because guess what? Once again, this is the reason why I said they don't want us to have TikTok, because we are able to access information from everywhere. And guess what they're saying? People from other countries are saying they haven't seen the moon for at least 1 or 2 weeks. But the real question is, where's the moon? What's going on?
Ain't nobody been to the moon. Ain't nobody been outside this giant cage we're trapped in. The firmament is real. This is why rocket ships take off and they start shooting at an angle. They'll scrape the firmament and they always land in the ocean. No, there's no satellites. They are hanging satellites in the firmament. This is a GPS system. Nothing will get through the firmament.
So is it a shape of a snow globe?
No, then they shoot some grainy film that they were on the moon. It scraped the surface of the firmament, landed. It's only 1 day, but the landing is like a week later. But that's when it showed.
So there are reports now that Diddy is spiraling out of control in this courtroom. The word is that when they took a break, Diddy was outside of the courtroom and he stayed by himself, sulking, looking angry, upset about everything, kind of losing his temperament. And then he called over his lawyers one by one and was like, who obviously don't know exactly what's being said, but he looked irate, he looked upset. And then when they went back to the courtroom, while his lawyers were questioning the witness, he was passing them notes, telling them what to say, to the point where the lawyer looked like, or the attorney looked disrupted and was like, looking at the note and then asking the question. And he is upset with his attorneys, irate with them apparently. And I think at this point, there's chaos with the defense team. I don't think they fully, I mean, they all had their ducks in a row and they're questioning, but at this point when your client is like throwing things, he's just throwing them for a loop. And these questions, all these things that they come up with in their tactics, they plan all these things. You can't just ask a random question in the middle of your session, because you always have to establish a lead up and a purpose to your question. So I don't know, and I think I'm not there obviously, but I think the jury's got to be like seeing him act loony like this and be like, man, this guy doesn't look right.
There's a theory that in season 5 of Stranger Things, Eddie is gonna be a villain.
Eddie.
Listen.
A lot of people are saying that.
I'm tell you why. In the first episode, I think.
Yeah.
The first episode when Eddie's talking to the cheerleader.
Okay.
Remember the cheerleader says?
Yeah.
Listen. The cheerleader says, "Oh, I didn't recognize you."
Okay.
And he's like, "Yeah, you probably wouldn't recognize me because I had a buzz cut like all of elementary school."
Yeah.
A buzz cut.
Yeah.
Who else has a buzz cut in the show?
It was 11 alive?
All of the kids that were experimented on, all of the psychics that were experimented on, all had buzz cuts, bro.
Oh, so Eddie came back then, what you're saying?
Because I watch a lot of movies, feel me? And a lot of plot twist movies.
Okay.
And the way they're setting it up, they're making Eddie feel like this close to home character. Like, there's no way this guy can be a thing now. So comfortable, and you root for him so they can do a bigger twist later. That's my theory.
Okay.
That is so creepy. Oh, that's creepy. Right in the trash.
So there's this. No way.
That's something I'll do. Let's find out.
Ashley.
So I check into my hotel room and immediately see this. You see that line under the door? What is this? What is this? Maybe it's a kind of service.
I will not open it. Oh,
Is this smuggling zone?
should not
What
be
is
there.
This is crazy. This is a hotel. Let's stick it all the way in.
I can stay in that hotel because if they're pointing there like.
What the fish snatcher?
It's back. It keeps peeking in here. Help me. Oh my goodness gracious, what the hell? Ain't nobody in the other room. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Now this next video was submitted to me by Rachel K, who works at a retirement home where something very strange was recently caught on camera. The story goes that a few days ago, a cleaning crew was sent to clean the second floor of this building. They were sent there to clean up the rooms, but most importantly, a pile of cat litter that a child had accidentally dropped while visiting their grandma. So as requested, they cleaned up the second floor, but right when they were halfway done cleaning up, this happens.
Yeah, that's vegetarian. Vegan will be like, no cheese.
Oh, that's disgusting. Or the vegan cheese.
Or the vegan cheese. That would be.
I'm not the only one that heard that.
Well, there was this one time when I was in the hallway and like. Oh,
take over because I wouldn't be coming back. I do not play around with something I can't see. Like, no. See nothing.
Out of nowhere, what looks like footprints suddenly appear on the carpet. No other footprints appear anywhere else, except here. This is interesting, considering the color of the prints. They look quite similar to the coloration of the cat litter. Seeing how close it is to the cat sand, it doesn't seem far-fetched to think that a pair of feet had set foot on the powdery substance. But the question is though, just how exactly did a pair of footprints appear without there being someone present? Earlier, the group had heard a strange noise from down the hall. Then moments later, they rushed out in a panic frenzy after hearing a loud noise. Rachel K., the person who sent me this, thinks that the noise had some connection to the footprints. After all, the second floor of this retirement home is thought to be haunted. Whether or not this explains the footprints remains inconclusive, but as with most videos, you be the judge. How exactly did the footprints manifest on the carpet?
One of them.
10 revealing details have already proven that Katy Perry's space trip was a total hoax. Did you catch them all? First off, there was Jeff Bezos' comical fall. He touched the space capsule with his bare hand, and it was completely fine. But in reality, re-entry capsules generate extreme heat and usually leave burn marks. Yet this one looked brand new. Jeff Bezos' acting was painfully bad. The capsule door, which looked more like a refrigerator door, was opened and closed before he even got there. Then, he awkwardly fumbled with a prop just to reopen it again. Then there's Katy Perry's eye-catching earrings. Astronaut Sunita Williams once revealed that astronauts are strictly prohibited from wearing jewelry in space. Loose pieces could cause malfunctions in the capsule. But Lauren Sanchez was flaunting a giant diamond ring like she didn't have a care in the world, as if this whole thing was just a reality show. Also, in real space footage, Sunita Williams' hair floats around weightlessly, but Katy Perry and the others, their hair stayed completely in place. Actual astronauts wear special suits, but these celebrities were rocking, plunging necklines and stilettos. Plastic surgeon Dr. Mike Coulson has stated that breast implants can shift or even expand in space. Yet Lauren's looked perfectly normal, and Katy Perry? Not a single wilted daisy in sight. All of this points to one thing. This was nothing more than a space-themed commercial.
Want to know why I recently got that tattoo? There was a moment when Moses found the courage to ask God what his name was. God was gracious enough to answer. In the version of the Bible that you read, it probably says that God's name is I am, but the name he gave is recorded in the original Hebrew, YHWH. Over time, we added an A and an E to get YAHWEH, presumably because we have a preference for vowels. But scholars and rabbis have noticed that the letters YHWH represents breathing sounds or aspirated consonants. When pronounced without intervening vowels, it sounds like breathing. YH is the inhale, WH is the exhale. So a baby's first cry, his first breath speaks the name of God. A deep sigh calls his name, or a groan or a gasp that is too heavy for mere words mentions God's name. Even atheists speak his name, unaware that their very breath is giving acknowledgement to God. Likewise, a person leaves this earth with their last breath when God's name is no longer filling their lungs. So when you can't utter anything else, your cry is calling out to God. Your cry is saying his name. Being alive means we speak his name constantly. Your very breathing is giving God praise. God chose to give himself a name that we can't help but speak every moment we're alive. All of us, always, everywhere, walking, sleeping, breathing, with the name of God on our lips. Now share this full story with someone.
Yo, check this out. The unspoken name of God. With every single breath we take, we pronounce the name of God, Yahweh. Yahweh is the unspoken name of God. Inhale, Yah. Exhale, Way. With every inhale of our breath, we pronounce Yah. If God were to remove his spirit, every living creature, both man and beast, herb and tree would die. The Spirit of God is the breath of life. His Spirit literally sustains our existence. Oh my gosh, bro! What the heck?
Jesus, aka Yeshua, right? Yeshua is a real person. He disappears from the Bible at the age of 12, and he goes on this journey. He goes to Tibet to learn Reiki healing and Qigong. He goes to India to learn the mystic arts. And then he, all the way back, he's teaching reincarnation. This is in the Gospel of the Holy 12, which was withheld from the biblical canonized Bible. You're talking about a person that had a high vibration, that may even have been an avatar himself. You know, it's quite possible, because I even did a video talking about, could he even be Thoth, right? Could he be Hermes, come back in a different way, instead of transferring to another body, say, you know, I'm going to come back through the womb this time. He could be the avatar. And when you look even deeper, for example, Jesus' grandmother was also a virgin birth. So the virgin birth now has Mary, and then Mary has the virgin birth of Yeshua. So it just seems to be something is going on here throughout time, throughout history, where this story just keeps popping up over and over again, and this person becoming like this ascended master avatar. When he reappears in a biblical text at the age of 32, the Bible says, I call my son out of Egypt. That's what the Bible says. God is saying, I'm calling my son out of Egypt. He shows up riding on the back of a donkey in Jerusalem and proclaiming himself to be the Messiah.
Okay, now what's going on, y'all? Word on the streets is that these two men, supposedly members of the KKK, went out to a park in Atlanta and was going through the park. They were wearing the KKK attire, and they are now unalived. That is what the story is. They went out to this park. I don't know if they was chanting hateful speech, what exactly they were doing, but we do know that they supposedly had on the KKK robes and attire. Now, some people are saying that this story is not true because it has not been on major media platforms, the news outlets, and so on and so forth. But here's the thing. If this is true, why has it not been brought out to the media? Why is the public not knowing what's going on? And why are they not wanting this information to get out? Now, if it is fake information, fake news, why would someone go to the lengths of drawing up fake news like that? And not only that, there is a scene that was taken in Atlanta, in the actually DeKalb County, at this particular park, where police were everywhere. It looked like an active scene. I'm not sure exactly what was going on because I was not there. But this is supposed to be the scene that these two men were unalived at, who were walking through the park with this attire. What's going on? It looked like they did in fact fuck around and found out. Now, some people are saying that this is fake news. Some people are saying that they just ain't put it in the media. What's your guys' take on it? So what do you all think? Have you heard about this? Is this true or is this fake news? One thing that I do know is it sounds like it could be true because black people are now waking up and practicing self-preservation. Not just harming one another and each other, but realizing that we are not each other's enemy. We are not the enemy. Black people in America are realizing we are all that we got. So please, refrain from fucking around and finding out. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my new YouTube channel at Queenology100. The link is in my bio, or if you're on YouTube, just type in at Queenology100 and make sure to hit the notification bell.
Y'all.
TikTok, I have reviewed the community guidelines, and this video does not violate any community guidelines. I am practicing free speech in this video, and I am also viewing my impression and my own personal opinion in this video. This is not to be taken as misinformation. This is a high quality video. The commentary, content, and footage is my own original content comment.
Well, y'all, that's all I have for tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed those crazy and wild videos. I have more coming, so don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this. Until next time, deuces, good night, God bless you.